What's up guys, TBL here bringing you a Wii U Call of Duty Ghosts gameplay. We are playing Domination this time, and on the map Siege it looks like it's going to be. Now as I said before, this is a Wii U gameplay, this isn't the PS4. Decided I'd give the PlayStation a break and head back to the Wii U where I have a lot more stuff unlocked. You know, I'm still pretty low level on the PS4 version of the game, so I don't have any of my special classes set up or anything, or any of the best kill streaks unlocked. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the differences and the similarities between the Wii U version of Call of Duty Ghosts and the PS4 version. Now I did upload a video a couple of days ago showing the Wii U version and the PS4 version side by side, just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a video comparison there. But I feel that really didn't cover basically all of the similarities and the differences between the two consoles. It was mainly just to demonstrate the visual aspects. You know, to really show how good both the PS4 and Wii U versions of the game look. But before we get into all that, let's talk about this match right here. This is a basic game of Domination, and my basic loadout is going to be the AK-12, packed up with a suppressor and a red dot sight. I usually don't run secondaries, nor do I usually run lethals and tacticals, just so that I can have the extra perk space. Sure, it means I can't blow people up, but I like having a ton of perks. Speaking of which, my perk setup is Ready Up, Sleight of Hand, Agility, Marathon, Scavenger, and Focus. It's pretty much a pitch-perfect mid to long distance run and gun loadout. I am a very mobile player. I'm the crazy guy who'll just get up and run out into the middle of the battlefield streaking in and out of cover. And this setup complements that very well. My perk setup starts with Guard Dog at about 5 kills or 5 points, depends on what mode you're playing, Trinity Rocket at 7, and finally the Helo Pilot at 12. I find this to be a pretty good setup since guard dogs usually net me at least 1 or 2 kills, mainly kills on people who are coming up behind me, they really are a godsend for that. The Trinity Rocket I usually get at least 1 or 2 kills with, unless you're on a stage. They're not so good on Siege since there's a lot of buildings people can hide in and out of, but hopefully, you know, if I make it up to that, I'll be able to drop a couple bombs on people who are standing outside. And finally, the Helo Pilot. I just absolutely love that thing. It is one of the best kill building kill streaks in this game. On more wide open battlefields, that thing absolutely demolishes. But anyway, that's it for the basic setup, so let's get into the topic at hand, the Wii U and the PS4 versions of Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, as you guys know, I got a PS4 and I've been playing it for about 2 weeks now. I've had plenty of time to get used to the system. It's a ton of fun, and I feel that I've gotten a good feel for Call of Duty Ghosts on the PS4, just about as good of a feel as I've gotten for it on the Wii U. Although I am undoubtedly better on the Wii U than I am on the PS4. I'll go ahead and say that. Well, we got ourselves a nice little Trinity Rocket here, and I got a couple people outside, and no way! I didn't get a single kill off of that, even though it looks like I dropped those bombs right where they were, but you know what, it's alright. It's just one of the tropes of this stage. Everybody can hide everywhere. But anyway, back on topic. I've gotten a pretty good feel for Ghosts on the PS4, and I've played through enough matches to, I think, form a good opinion on how it stacks up against the Wii U. And, you know, the results of that might actually surprise you. So first and foremost, we do have to cover the obvious. The PS4 version looks amazing. Graphically speaking, there's no doubt that the Wii U is a powerful system, and this game looks great. But the PS4 version, while graphically similar, the lighting effects, the E.M.B., the bloom, all of it is just on the next level. Like this stage, Siege, is actually a perfect example. It's an outdoor stage with a ton of natural sunlight. This stage on the PS4 has all kinds of lighting coming in, almost to the point of blinding you at some parts. It's super realistic and it's just super nice to look at. Now segueing through that, the game also runs really smoothly. Like 1080p, 60 frames per second looks really good. And of course, it's important to note that the Wii U also runs native 1080p, so it's running at 1080p 60 frames per second as well. The two consoles are near equal on that front. Now turning our attention back to the match here, we already have our Helo Pilot, so I'm going to be trying to find a safer place to call that in. I think I'm just going to go ahead and drop down right here since nobody ever really checks the spot, and then call this bad boy in and start peppering the battlefield with gunfire. Now, Domination is a perfect mode to get a Helo Pilot kill streak in. Since most of the time Domination points will be sitting outside, you can provide perfect coverage over it, the way I'm sort of not doing right now. Somehow we've lost all 3 Domination points. But I'm going to see if I can pepper these guys as soon as they spawn, and hope my team gets off its laurels and starts actually taking Domination points. But again, while this killstreak works wonders on objective-based game modes, you're kind of seeing one of the limitations here. You can pretty much get away from this thing by running inside any building. Unlike previous Call of Duty games, bigger helicopter killstreaks, the bullets don't do very much penetration damage, if any. So most of the time, people will just immediately head for whatever building is nearest to them, as soon as they see a helo pilot come online. It's a little on the annoying side, but I suppose there has to be a counter to a killstreak this powerful. And I guess that counter is hiding. Which actually brings me to my next point of comparison between the Wii U and the PS4 versions of this game. And that comparison is the player base. Now when I say that, I certainly don't mean the player count, the total number of people online, as there's a real clear difference between the number of people online on the Wii U on any given day and the number of people online on the PS4. Generally, the Wii U version of the game will see a couple thousand players a day. Generally, it hovers around maybe 2,000 to 3,000, with a little over 3,000 on a good day. The PS4 version, however, like I've noticed, hovers at around 45K at any given time. So yeah, there's a clear difference in the player count there. But I'm talking more qualitative here rather than quantitative. And I do mean that in the terms of a skill-based comparison. Now this is the part that might actually surprise some of you. But in my experience, I've actually found more challenging players to be present on the Wii U than I have on the PS4. Now for some people, that's a wild conclusion, since the Wii U is most of the time regarded as a casual console. Regarded as one incorrectly, I might add. And this certainly isn't to say that there aren't skilled players on the PlayStation 4. In a bit of anecdotal evidence, I recall joining a Domination match against a pretty well-organized team. It was a difficult match to say the least. But what I'm saying is that on average, I've found that the players that I go up against on the Wii U version are usually a bit more challenging than the ones that I find on the PS4, on average. Now that may be a result of server infrastructure differences. Lag on the PS4 is different than lag on the Wii U, and I'll cover that in a second. Or it could be, a result of something even as simple as Wiimote nunchuck play. Whoa! Okay, so a nice little IED death there. But to further build on what I just said, Wiimote nunchuck actually does make a rather large difference. You really can't beat the accuracy and the range of motion that you can get with a Wiimote nunchuck. So that might have something to do with, and a second IED. But anyway, so that might have a little something to do with it. If you guys ever watch other Wii U players who use the Wiimote nunchuck, like Magic the Method for example, or Oh Yeah Cookie and Mr. Huntin' Noobs, some of the range of motion those guys get is absolutely insane, and color me envious as a Wii U Pro Controller user. Most of the time I wish I could twitch aim with that much ease. But moving on, so while I do usually have a harder time with Wii U players than I've had thus far with PS4 players, there is one thing I can say that I have faced on the PS4 far more times than I have on even the Wii U. And that is campers. Oh my jeez, and I mean, I thought campers were bad on the Wii U version of Ghosts. Ghosts is kind of a game that, I won't say it promotes camping, but it does make it very easy. But literally in almost every single match I had on the PS4, there was always a group of people who were just completely dedicated to the art form of camping. And I mean, that's kind of a big blanket statement, but I'm talking about 3 or 4 people sitting in the back room on Warhawk, all with IEDs laced around the entire area, sitting in a circle inside of a room, just waiting for people to walk through a door. It's usually that bad most of the time. Now, maybe there's a chance I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but honestly speaking, I found far more instances of just super hardline camping on the PS4 than I even thought was possible in this game. But who knows, maybe I was just having a bad day and getting into a couple of bad lobbies, but it really did seem like a pretty constant thing. Although this isn't to say I couldn't deal with them. Most of the time, camping is pretty easy to deal with, and basically all of the examples I'm thinking of right now on the PS4, I was able to get around it and pretty much dominate the people because they kept going back to the same spot over and over again. So yeah, there's that. But pretty much the last comparison point that I wanted to talk about centers around lag. Now we all know the Wii U version has had its issues with network connectivity, we'll say. I even have a previous video up showing just how insane the lag in this game can get. But honestly, most of the time this game is more than playable. And with the exception of getting into 1 or 2 bad games per day, most of the time, if your connection is solid, you'll find a good match, you'll have a great time. Now that is also mostly true for the PlayStation 4 version of this game. However, I have noticed far more consistent cases of rubber banding lag in the PS4 version than I ever had in the Wii U version. Rubber banding, of course, being the situation where you take a couple steps forward and then the game lags you straight back all those steps. It'll push you back around corners, back into windows, and all kinds of crazy crap. Generally, latency, lag spikes, and all kinds of shenanigans where you unload a clip into someone and they just drop you in one shot happens a lot more frequently to me on the PS4 than it does on the Wii U. However, there are lots of logical reasons for this. The PS4 fan base is much wider, meaning you're going to get into matches with a lot more people, and a lot of those people might not have the best internet. Or they might just be very far away from where you are. Another big issue is the fact that players can directly live stream their gameplay from their console on the PS4, which generally means they're putting an extra strain on their internet connection, and that might manifest itself in the matches that they play. It also doesn't help that Infinity Ward didn't give us a ping meter with the score list in this game like they do in previous Call of Duties. So of course that's a bit of an issue as well. Although overall the PlayStation 4 version of Call of Duty Ghosts is perfectly playable, it's easy to get into matches, and most of the time you'll have a great time. Remember, these are just a few of the issues I've had, and basically I'm just comparing it to the issues I've had with the Wii U version. So there's no need to read too deeply into all of this. Alright, so that's basically the end of the comparison that I'm going to do between the Wii U version and the PS4 versions of Call of Duty Ghosts. Basic summary would be they both look good, PS4 looks better. The Wii U version has a smaller but more focused fan base in my opinion. There are a ton more campers on the PlayStation 4 version, and the PlayStation 4 version seems to be a bit more laggy than the Wii U version. Again, just in my limited experience. But anyway, that's it for the comparison, guys. Let's head back to the match here. We are at 38-9, and I just got myself a care package. We've built up to a second Trinity rocket. I don't think we're going to make it to a helo pilot. And what is this? Oh, what a perfect way to end this. A missile strike. So let's call that bad boy in and rake in whatever kills we can get. Absolutely phenomenal way to... Oh, come on. And of course, the match ends right as the missile touches down. Well, that's alright. We did go 38 kills and 9 deaths with 7 captures, so pretty good, pretty good. Pretty nice and tidy way to wrap up a match, I'd say. Anyways, that's it for this one, guys. As always, stay tuned to the channel, where there will always be new content waiting for you to see. Got a video request or idea? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, I'm out for now. As always, I am TheBlackLink. You guys stay frosty.